Audrey Hepburn. Many feel that she is one of the most influential women in the 20th century, between her work on the stage and screen and her work with UNICEF later in life. Between the years of 1948 and 1989, Audrey appeared in over 25 movies and 7 stage productions, including Sabrina, My Fair Lady, Charade, and Roman Holiday. Audrey Hepburn was born on May 4th, 1929, to Joseph Rustin and Ella Van Heemstra. She was enrolled in ballet at age 5, and dance was an influential part of her life and ultimately her gateway to stardom. A lot of world to see. In 1940, the Germans invaded Audrey's hometown in Arnhem. At one point, Audrey was chased by soldiers until she found an abandoned cellar to hide in. She remained in that cellar for a month, and when she emerged, she developed a rivalry with food that would remain with her for the rest of her life. Someday, old dream maker, you heartbreaker. After a few years, in 1951, Audrey was cast in a main role in a film about the German occupation, The Secret People. Audrey related so much to the scenes and the story in the movie that she actually broke down in tears while filming due to her memories of the war. To see the world, there's such a lot of world. After The Secret People made her a bit of a name in acting, Audrey took a small part in a movie, Monte Carlo Baby. At the same time, Colette, a novelist, was looking for a young woman to play the title role in a Broadway production called Gigi. She chose Audrey. Prior to being cast for Gigi, Audrey had become engaged to a man named James Hansen. She left him in Europe when she flew to New York to begin rehearsing for the show. Audrey moved to New York and began rehearsing for Gigi. However, the stress of the show moved her to stop eating again, and she dropped 10 pounds from her weight of 116, which was the heaviest she would ever be, aside from her pregnancies. When Gigi opened, it was a huge success, and she was thrust into a spotlight that would never leave her. She quickly decided to return to movies after the grueling Broadway production, and was quickly signed on to one of her most successful movies ever, Roman Holiday. Audrey's co-star in Roman Holiday, Gregory Peck, sparked many rumors in the press when he and Audrey began appearing in public together. Although they were simply friends, Audrey realized through this that it was time for her to call off her engagement with Hansen. The two had been growing apart as her career grew, and it was obvious to both of them that neither of them were the spouse that the other needed. When Audrey began working on the set of a new project, Sabrina, more rumors began flying when she met William Holden. Her co-star in Sabrina, Holden had every opportunity to bond with Audrey, and the two began to grow closer, although Holden was married. Their affair was toured, but was never publicly announced. When Holden left his wife for Audrey, she told him that she believed she had fallen in love with him, and he confessed it to her as well. However, Audrey forced herself to leave the relationship once Holden told her that he could no longer have children. Raising a family had been Audrey's dream since childhood, and she knew that she could not be truly happy with Holden if they could not have children. However, Holden continued to try and win her over even when she fell in love with Mel Ferrer, who would later become her husband in 1954. Such a lot of world to see. Ferrer would be a controlling factor in Audrey's life for many years. In the course of their faulty marriage, they would have only one child, Sean, although Audrey would suffer numerous miscarriages. The couple divorced in 1968. Audrey filmed many movies between her marriage and her divorce, including War and Peace, Funny Face, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Love in the Afternoon. Shortly after she and Mel divorced, she fell in love with Andrea Dotti, and the two were married the next year. The two raised a son named Luca until they divorced in 1982. Audrey began using most of her time after her last divorce working with UNICEF. In 1988, she went on her first mission to Ethiopia, and continued working with UNICEF until 1992, when she was diagnosed with appendiceal cancer. Audrey Hepburn died on January 20th, 1993. She left a legacy behind that resulted in hundreds of biographies and a movie called The Audrey Hepburn Story. Audrey is still known as one of the most influential women of the 20th century, and her legacy has not dwindled and will not dwindle for many years to come.